Greetings, wrestling fans! Patrick here, and today, oh man, we go over another terrible edition of Monday Night Raw. And I know this may sound repetitive, but my god, Raw just doesn't give me anything to look forward to. They are constantly changing Survivor Series team members. They went ahead and just announced the Survivor Series teams only to change them. I don't understand why this is the main focus of Survivor Series. They should have just had qualifying matches. Oh. The first hour was focused heavily on Big E. Big E opened the show asking Kevin Owens for an explanation. Kevin Owens gave it to him, pretty much blaming Big E. Pretty much saying it's all Big E's fault for changing everybody's opinion on him after what happened 2 weeks ago. So yeah, there's that. And then the Usos would attack Big E. This leads to Matt Riddle being the hero again, coming to the ring. And then this would lead to Seth Rollins coming out as well. And this would lead to a disqualification with Seth Rollins interfering. Randy Orton comes out. And instead of just ending it there and moving us on to Bianca Belair versus Tamina, giving them a good amount of time to compete, nah, let's do a 6-man tag involving Big E, RK Bro, Seth Rollins, and the Usos. Ridiculous. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to give us this, but they did. Seth Rollins and the Usos would win. Seth Rollins pinned Riddle. And then we get to Bianca Belair versus Tamina. Now I will say this was a different match and this was a bit more fresher than most matches, so I will give it that. It was definitely a different match. Tamina looked good and so did Bianca. But I'm sorry to say this to you guys, I'm sorry, but I'm really over Bianca Belair. I'm sorry. I know I probably got a lot of people mad, but I'm over Bianca. Bianca, in my opinion, was pushed way too fast. She was pushed way too fast up the card, and now I've gotten to the point where I just don't really want to see her anymore, or even care about her. Now, I'm not saying Tamina Snuka should have beaten Bianca Belair. I'm not trying to say that at all. I'm just trying to say I'm getting to that point where I'm kind of sick of Bianca Belair always winning. Now, would have I been mad if Tamina did win? No, not really, I wouldn't. I think the only thing that would have made a lot of sense is maybe Doudrop comes down and maybe causes Bianca Belair to lose the match. Like, I would have been okay with that. It protects Bianca and Tamina gets a win. But now we're going to move on to Doudrop and Bianca Belair. I really want Doudrop to win. I really want Doudrop to win because I know she could benefit greatly from a victory like this. I just think pushing someone way too fast to the top is what really, really hurts people. And listen, Bianca isn't the only person that has been criticized for this issue. Charlotte Flair won her first title within 2 months of being called up. Alexa Bliss won her first title within the first 4 months of being called up. And then Roman Reigns. Who can forget about Roman Reigns and the Shield winning championships so quickly, and then it took Roman Reigns like 3 years to become WWE champion. Like, many people consider 3 years incredibly quick. Sheamus became WWE champion within the first 8 months of his career. We have seen this happen before where superstars are just pushed way too quick. I remember hearing stories years ago that The Rock was pushed to the moon. And that was only when he got popular in the nation. But when it comes to pushing someone, you've got to take your time with them. You can't just push these people too quick. Look at Drew McIntyre. People were waiting for Drew McIntyre for years, and now people are sick of him. My problem is that you need to find the right length and right time to push these people. If Bianca took a couple of years to win her first championship, then I would have been more reception to it because she worked her ass off to do it. I feel like she was just handed it. Now, I know some will say, oh, but look at how long she spent in NXT. She was in there for about 3 years. I know NXT is different. NXT is different in my opinion because, yeah, Aaliyah spent like 7 years in NXT. But in my opinion, once you're called up to the main roster, in my opinion, this is where things change. Things change when you're brought up to the main roster. The main roster is the big leagues. NXT is the minor leagues, the developmental system. They're two different things. They are there to help develop people for the main roster. And yes, we can raise that argument that Bianca spent a couple of years in NXT and she deserves it because of her hard work in NXT. You can make that argument if you want, but I think differently. I personally think differently. I think once your time is up in NXT, you basically restart. You're basically starting over once you hit the main roster. So I personally think Bianca Belair is being pushed way too quick. So let's move on. Then we get Becky Lynch cutting her promo on Charlotte. The funny thing is about this promo, I'm sorry, Charlotte Flair won the promo here. I don't think Becky Lynch's promo was a good counter to what Charlotte was trying to say. I'm not saying I didn't understand the concepts of Becky's promo, but it was kind of like Becky was repeating the same shit she's always said. I'm the man, I'm different than you, yada yada yada, you know? I miss Becky and I miss Charlotte Lynch. I wish they were still friends in real life. But they're not friends anymore. Becky Lynch did mention their friendship, but that's basically it. I don't think it was really a roasting, if you ask me. I don't think it was really much of a roasting of Charlotte Flair. I just more think it was just her bringing up their past and talking about where they are now. So, sorry, Becky did not roast Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair roasted Becky with the uh-oh! Charlotte was more funnier. Charlotte was more funnier. And I'm not being biased. Before you people think I'm being biased, I'm not being biased. I'm just speaking my opinion. Charlotte Flair wins this promo battle. She's the one that roasted Becky. But then Becky Lynch, then Liv Morgan comes out, and then we get Becky and Liv going at it. Becky pretty much belittles Liv. Liv says, oh, but you said I was a future champion when you'd come back. And Becky's like, well, I'm back now. You're not getting your mitts on my title. And then they brawl. Becky goes for the manhandle slam. Liv reverses out of it and holds up the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch is completely losing her mind on the outside, telling her to put it down, that doesn't belong to her. Randy Orton starts going off on Matt Riddle, starts getting very frustrated with him. It's about damn time! Randy Orton starts realizing Riddle is an absolute Donkey Kong. Riddle's an idiot. Randy is telling Riddle to start thinking like a champion and stop being a hero. I'm glad Randy is starting to show signs of turning on Riddle. He should have done that a long time ago. I cannot wait until Randy Orton finally RKO's this bozo and the end of RK Bro. I do not like this RK Bro team. I know a lot of people do like it. I don't like it at all. Randy Orton is my boy. He's my hero. He's the guy I looked up to. He's the reason I watch wrestling. He's the reason why I watch wrestling. And I'm watching this, and I'm watching him working with a guy that I can't stand. This is just ridiculous in my opinion. And I cannot wait for Randy to finally move on from Riddle and we can end this RK Bro nonsense. And then we get to the Street Profits. They face the Alpha Academy. And I don't know what it is, but I'm starting to feel the same way that I feel with Bianca Blair with the Street Profits. I'm starting to get bored of the Street Profits. It's not because they were over-pushed, unlike Bianca, even though they had their time at the top. They had their time at the top last year. They were Raw Tag Team Champions for about 200 and so days, I can't remember. Then they swapped the titles and became SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I personally think their time is up. I personally believe they had their time at the top. It's time for other teams to have a turn. Like the Alpha Academy. Like the Alpha Academy, who they were facing. I believe the Alpha Academy on SmackDown were treated as a dominant force on SmackDown. They were treated as a dominant force on SmackDown and winning matches. But as soon as they come over to Raw, they've been losing a lot. Chad's had 2 singles matches, which they were very good. But I really want the Alpha Academy to be the team that beats RK Bro. But considering that they've been booked the way they've been booked, it doesn't seem like they will. Oh boy, and then we get to even worse shit. Then we get to the women's tag team division as Nikki Ash faced Selena Vega and Rhea Ripley against Carmella. And oh my god, this was just absolutely unbearable. I had a very difficult time paying attention to these matches, all because of one man, Corey Graves. On SmackDown, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are fantastic together. I never thought I'd be praising Pat McAfee when I couldn't stand this guy. I couldn't stand Pat McAfee months ago, but his commentary work is top notch. I am actually now enjoying Pat McAfee more. He's not over the top and annoying, he's over the top and funny. At least Pat McAfee is funny. Jimmy Smith, I like Jimmy Smith. I think Jimmy Smith is good. I think he's a good commentator. Byron Saxton is Byron Saxton. He will always be the typical whiny babyface commentator that will always find excuses. That's Byron Saxton. But Corey Graves, my god, gives me a headache. And now I formally regret ever wanting Carmella on Raw, because now things are even worse. It was so difficult to pay attention to these matches. It was just so darn difficult to pay attention to these matches. Well, Corey Graves just didn't shut the hell up about how good-looking Carmella is. He did it with Alexa Bliss in 2018. He did it with Mandy Rose when she was on SmackDown. Just stop. Enough. I do not like commentators that focus heavily on women's body looks. Zelina Vega beat Nikki Ash, and Rhea beat Carmella. At least Rhea won her match, so I guess that's a good thing for me. Then we had Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has been a big topic here, because a lot of people are wondering if he's going to stay with WWE, or if he's going to leave. I think him winning this match here is a big eyebrow raiser, because a lot of people think that when you're on your way out of the company, you lose a lot, which is exactly what happened to Dean Ambrose when he was leaving. Yes, he had an IC title reign, but I think they didn't announce his contract until after the IC title reign. But people say when you're on your way out of the company, you lose a lot of matches, which is what Dean Ambrose did. Or Jon Moxley. Same guy, different name. But Kevin Owens won here. So this is a big difference. So is Kevin Owens staying, or is he leaving? I guess we'll soon find out. We'll find out next year. Kevin Owens beat Finn Balor, which was a big eyebrow raiser. AJ Styles and Omos defeated the Dirty Dogs. I have no idea who was the babyface team, nor do I care. But Styles and Omos did win here. And then the main event was Bobby Lashley versus Rey Mysterio, and Bobby Lashley won. Adam Pearce came out and removed Rey Mysterio for Austin Theory. This is the big major issue here. Last week, Adam Pearce said he took out Dominic Mysterio because he's not a former WWE champion. He said only former WWE champions are allowed on the Raw men's team. So why did he replace a former WWE champion with Austin Theory? Austin Theory is not a former WWE champion! What happened? What happened, Adam? Did you change your mind? I don't get it! I really don't get it at all. Why was it last week, oh, you have to be a former WWE champion to be on the Raw men's team, but now you've changed your mind? Now you don't have to be a former WWE champion? What the friggin' hell? The friggin' hell is going on here? This is by far the stupidest reason, and this is why I hated the idea of just removing people for no reason. If you're setting up your team, the team stays as it is. You don't constantly change it to try and make things interesting. I just think it's lame. I think it's stupid. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think this is stupid, and it contradicts what Adam Pearce said last week. If he was going to replace a former WWE champion with another former WWE champion, it should have been AJ Styles. But no, apparently we got to see Austin Theory. Austin Theory sucks. That's your Monday Night Raw review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Be sure to like and subscribe and all that other jazz. And I will see you all next time.